Hello and welcome everybody to today's News Tonight, episode 183. Oh my god, time flies so fast. This is, of course, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests, our lovely patrons, and our amazing YouTube audience to discuss the day's gaming news. I'm your host for today, Ash Paulson, and today I'm joined by my very good friends and GVG co-founders, Derek Bittner and Steve Bowling, who is clearly in the tub with his BFF and all-around great guy, Nick Sumis. How's it going, Steve and Nick?
It's quite warm.
It is very warm. We are sweating already.
I gotta say, that's a much nicer tub than Steve had last time.
Much better. I love this. Yeah. I remember when I did my tub stream, I was uncomfortably hot and just sweaty the whole time. It was not. It was tough. So I feel for you, but we're getting a little silly here. It's the weekend, almost the weekend. It's Friday. You guys have been asking for the return of the almighty bathtub stream, and we're bringing it to you. We're here. It's happening. And we couldn't be more excited. And you guys look like you're ready. You've got your cappy visor, some candy. What do you guys have stacked up over behind you? Is that just a bunch of soap, like actual bathtub items?
No, we got Callie and Marie, baby.
Ah, okay.
Nice. Gotta bring the squids and the kids.
Tubbing with celebrities. I see how it is.
I love
Right.
Oh, but there's definitely a loofah as well. So
Nice.
we had to clean up first.
Obviously.
Very cool. Obviously.
Keep it clean here.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Steve, you've been hanging out with Nick for a couple of days now, right, man? You guys just kind of hanging out and getting some much needed R&R, as I understand it.
I wouldn't say it's been very restful, but it has been relaxing.
Okay. Well, I'll take one.
That sounds about right for you, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm staying on brand even when I'm on vacation. For sure. It never stops. We played a lot of Pokemon Arceus today. We watched, I finally caught up on The Boys, which season 2 just came out. I really want to see where that goes, but I'm going to probably wait a little bit. And I have just been doing a whole lot of chilling out.
Yeah.
My liver is a little more stressed than usual.
For sure. We are
Relaxed.
I'm jealous. You mentioned that you've been playing some Pokemon Legends Arceus. Tell us about how you're feeling about the game so far, man, because I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Man, Arceus is amazing. I don't know how else to say it. It is the game that will get lapsed fans back into Pokemon. And I say that as someone who has experienced some fatigue with the series. I went back to Sword and Shield and played those, and I enjoyed them, but they felt still just kind of like the 3DS games, but bigger. Whereas Arceus feels like what I've wanted since the GameCube, really. So I'm only a couple hours in, like a handful of hours, but I'm absolutely in love with it. The gameplay loop is just so incredibly satisfying. Like actually sneaking up on Pokemon and capturing them, I didn't know that it would feel that good to do that. It's really cool.
I'm so excited to play it. That's awesome to hear. Like you, I'm kind of a lapsed Pokemon fan. I'm still a fan, but I've just gotten kind of tired of the formula, and so that's why I kind of dropped out of Gen 7 halfway through. Didn't even bother with Gen 8. I haven't gotten to play the Gen 4 remakes yet, but I'm not really itching to. But I am itching to play Pokemon Legends, and I'm so excited to hear that it's grabbed you as someone else who's kind of been like, I'm kind of tired of the formula. I want something new.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I was eating candy. There's
no worries.
But
it's a good mid-roll point. I'll keep that in mind for later.
Right.
Really quick, we do have a really cool message from VGA Fanatic in our live audience patron chat saying, "Hey, GVG crew, this is Jacob Tucker from the YouTube chat.
Ooh.
Decided to join the patron chat tier because I figure it's more cost-effective than spending $5 every time I want to say something. Hope to continue a lot more to your channel than ever before."
It is a little more cost-effective.
That makes more sense. It's definitely cost-effective. Yeah.
You should absolutely join our Patreon over at patreon.com/GVGame. But if you just want to give us $5 every time you want to talk to us, that's fine too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all cool.
Happy.
But seriously, Jacob, thank you so much, man. It's great to have you in our community, and we're looking forward to seeing you around the Discord and having you in our live audience, man. Seriously, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Derek.
I was just going to say, as somebody who's been keeping up with Pokemon, this is definitely feels fresh. Because I did that whole thing where I attempted to review Shining Pearl, and I was just like, this is the same game. There's a few upgrades, but there's nothing different to pull me in here. And this is, I said in there, I hoped that Legends Arceus would fix it. all that ambition would be. And so far, yes, there's even some smart ideas in here that really just I want to see them carry over to the future of the series, such as the fact that you no longer have to delete a move when you have four moves.
Don't?
What?
Yeah.
What? That's amazing.
What you do if you have a lineup of moves that they know, and you can freely swap them in the menu.
That is a game changer.
Let's go.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Wow.
There is a person in the game that you eventually meet that you can just spend some money to learn extra moves, and like it's it's different for every Pokemon. It's not like this person only teaches this. It's everything that this Pokemon can kind of learn if you want to do some ideas and whatnot. It is fantastic in just how it updates those things, even beyond the stuff that Steve was talking about, because he's right. The gameplay loop is really addictive, especially completing the Pokedex and how it all gets there. Like, the game itself is probably not going to be too long, like maybe 30, probably pretty typical for a Pokemon, but completing this game, holy crap. If you want to complete the Pokedex, you're going to be here for hundreds of hours.
Oh,
I gotta ask you this as a lapsed Pokemon fan to an active Pokemon fan, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Have they ever explained how Pokemon fit in Pokeballs before Arceus?
No, this is the first time they mentioned that Pokemon can naturally shrink.
Right.
They have that ability.
Like, when I read that, I was like, what? I mean, it gives the whole pocket monster thing a whole lot more meaning.
Yeah, there's some wild lore bits that they've dropped here. And, that's not a spoiler one. We could, we don't want to talk about the very beginning. That's spoilers. That's
right. Okay.
Right.
I'm a little sad to hear this. Taco Thy Salad in our patron set says, weirdly for a Pokemon game, the only real criticism I have so far is that the soundtrack is hit or miss. And that's not usually the case with Pokemon soundtracks.
I will say the town theme can get old really quick.
Really? Okay.
It is, I think, too short of a loop.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there is that. Battle theme though is fire. Battle music is really good rearrangement. So
nice.
That's good stuff. Man,
before we get too much further in, I wanted to highlight something Juan Delgado in our patron chat said. Whoa, guys, stop selling me on Legends Arceus. I got to finish Danganronpa first. Well, we may not have to sell you on it because, as it turns out, we have 2 codes for Pokemon Legends Arceus to give away today. And we're going to give away one at the very end of this episode at the outro. And we're going to give away the other one in our patron-exclusive post show immediately following this episode. So it's not too late for you to head over to patreon.com/gvgaming and join our live audience tier and get into that post show because we're giving away a second code during that. So, and this is all thanks to incredibly kind members of our community. Thank you so much. Skull Kid Tiger and Geller are the ones who offered up the codes that we're going to give away today. And thank you so much to both of you for your incredible generosity. It really means the world to us. Mm-hmm. Seriously, we love you.
Just surprised us out of nowhere.
Exactly. We weren't expecting it. It just out of nowhere. And stay tuned to the end of the show when we will give away our first Pokemon Legends Arceus code. And that'll be very exciting. But we'll just do a code readout. I'll read out the code, and then the final character of the code will be a hint that I come up with during the show. And I think I already have it down. But with that said, we do have a couple of super chats. First up is... Come on, Chrome, don't do that. All right. First up is $5 from RecBCQ. $5. Thank you so much. Saying, I bought Pokemon Legends Arceus from GameStop. A delivery came with a big box that only has 3 art cards. The game comes next week. I have now bought PLA digitally. That sucks, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the art cards you get from GameStop, really not that impressive. I'll be honest.
That sucks. Talk about players.
Power of
the players, indeed.
Yeah, like they're fine,
sorry to hear
but
that, RecBTQ. That sucks. But it sounds like it'll be worth the wait at least. But I'm sorry that happened to you. Next is Sonic and Mega Man 531 with $2. Thank you very much. Asking us what is our favorite Mario ending. Theirs is Galaxy. And off the top of my head, I'd probably have to go with Galaxy as well. Although I really, really, really love Super Mario World's ending because that credits the ending theme, and the credits theme is a right bop. It really is. I love that ending theme. So I'm kind of going back. Well, so is Mario 3's though. Mario 3's credit theme is great too. So,
Oh, is it theme or just how it actually
well,
plays
you
out?
know me. It's favorite ending, but you know
Oh,
how music is such a big part of that for me.
oh,
So,
Yeah.
I see.
yeah,
Odyssey.
Yep.
Yep.
Odyssey's really good too.
Odyssey.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it might be Odyssey.
And an honorable mention for me, going all the way back to Super Mario Brothers 2. I actually really like that ending.
Oh, that's true
Yeah.
too. That's true too. Yeah. I think I might have to go with Odyssey. That's a good point. That was a really good ending. Thank you, Sonic and Mega Man 531. Next up is
Pleasure.
Storysmith with $19.99. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
seriously. Wow.
Guys, you will not believe this. 3 weeks ago, I saw DS Chrono Trigger for sale on eBay for $20. I thought it was a scam,
no.
but still bought it anyway. It came in today, and it's a legit working
Holy
copy. Am I
crap.
lucky
Oh
or
my
what?
goodness.
Wow.
Congrats.
That's ridiculous.
That is
That
awesome.
is a find and a half.
Wow. Yes, keep
Yeah.
it. Don't flip it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
keep it, man. Don't. What an amazing get, and that's personally my favorite version of my favorite game of all time. So for you to have gotten that for $20, that's amazing.
Wow.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah, I guess
all
I guess that would be like the best version of Chrono Trigger. Does it have the anime cutscenes from
It
the
does.
PS1 version?
It does,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And it has the entire
And no
gallery
load
of
times.
all the unlockable stuff. No load times. It has the extra ending that ties into Chrono Cross. A little bit of extra content they added specifically for that version. And I think it's generally agreed on now that the Steam version has been brought to parity with the DS version, and it kind of is also the best version. But the DS version did it first. So
Oh, yeah.
I still
And with the DS version, you get the box art again, which is
Important.
amazing.
Yeah.
exactly. All right.
It also lies.
we do
Mario
have some
can't
more-
use fire techniques. What the heck?
We do have some more super chats, but we're going to cut them off for now. We will get to the rest, don't worry, but we do want to go ahead and get into the news because we do actually have a bit of news to talk about. So let's get that first story up on screen, and as a hint of what we're going to be talking about, just look at my shirt. Yacht Club, baby, let's go. So, our friends over at Yacht Club Games have announced that their next Yacht Club Games Presents, aka Yacht Club Games Direct, is going to be streaming on G4 TV Tuesday, February 1st at 2 p.m. Pacific, and you better believe we're going to be reacting to it right here. You know we are. I'm a big Shovel Knight fan. I think a lot of us are.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Yacht Club's output in general. But not only have they said they're doing this, but they've also teased a megaton announcement. What could it be? You guys have any speculation you want to throw out there?
I feel like at this point it has to be the next Yacht Club developed game.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Yeah. And I'm seeing the usual, theories thrown around out there, like Super Shovel Knight 64. Maybe it's just straight up Shovel Knight 2. Maybe it's not Shovel Knight at all. But, ever since Shovel Knight was a thing, people have been kind of theorizing that maybe they'll make a 16-bit follow-up or a 64-bit-esque follow-up. But we're already getting Shovel Knight Dig, and that kind of has a 16-bit aesthetic to it. So, who knows? Do you guys think it's going to be a Shovel Knight game?
Probably, but here
I don't think so.
So
No? Okay.
here's the thing: they actually have said how long it's going to be. It's an hour long.
Whoa. I hadn't caught that.
Yeah, this
Okay,
thing is
that might
in
change
their,
my opinion a
in
little
their
bit.
blog post. They said this whole thing is an hour long, and whew, that is. I don't know how well they can fill it all up unless they're showing a lot of gameplay. But yeah.
Wow.
An hour's a long
I
time to
feel-
talk about.
So, according to
Soccer
this,
can talk about one character for an hour.
basically,
That is
a lot
true.
of their own people are going to be pulling the back the development curtain to share a boatload of new updates, never before seen gameplay sneak peeks, DLC, and a groundbreaking announcement. So
Okay, groundbreaking. Okay, that's Shovel Knight, right? Like,
yeah,
they love their puns. That's so Shovel
Yeah.
Knight. It's got to be. I was wondering if maybe we'll get the announcement of their next publishing arm game because we know they published Cyber
I
Shadow.
wonder if it's going to be that as well. Like when they say DLC, I almost wonder if it's like Cyber Shadow getting DLC or something like that.
That would be cool. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it's more DLC for the original Shovel Knight because that's been done and dusted for a while now with the 3 add-on campaigns, ending with the King Knight's campaign. So I'm thinking that if it is DLC, maybe it's Cyber Shadow. Could be Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, possibly. I think we'll probably get a release date for Shovel Knight Dig. I think that's probably on the table. Beyond that, though, I don't know, and that's kind of what I'm excited about this. I know I love Yacht Club's output. I love their games. but I don't know what to expect from this. And anytime they say they're making a Megaton announcement, I'm like, okay, let's hear it. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's basically where I'm at. It's like you can kind of trust him at this point, and
Yeah.
I'm definitely curious. I have no idea what it actually will be. Shovel Knight makes the most sense, but I mean, how long's it been since King's Knight came out?
God, wasn't that like late? Jeez, I don't even remember. Was it like 2019?
19?
Oh God,
Yeah.
it has been a while.
I'd say it was 2019. Yeah, December 10th, 2019. So it's been more than 2 years since Shovel Knight was, completed essentially.
It's interesting though. The last time I talked to folks from Yacht Club, they seemed like they wanted to do something other than Shovel Knight for their next developed game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know, obviously studios need money and business decisions are business decisions, but I do feel like, at least for me personally, though I love Shovel Knight the character and the core like Shovel Knight game, I am getting a little tired of seeing him like in everything they do, and I would really be excited to see just what their next idea is outside of this character. That said, I wouldn't be upset if we did get like a brand new Shovel Knight game, like an actual proper Shovel Knight game, instead of a puzzle game or seeing him in some other indie game, which he's like in every indie game at this point. Right. He is to indie games what Mario is to Nintendo at this point, but I would just love to see what other creative ideas Yacht Club has. And I agree, Ash, with the groundbreaking thing that it makes me kind of...
They're doing that
I don't
on
want to say
purpose.
optimistic. Like, yeah, it feels very much on purpose. But, I mean, we don't know. Maybe it could be misdirection, like intentional misdirection to get people to say, like, oh, another Shovel Knight thing. And then, surprise, it's not that at all,
Right.
And that's my hope. My hope is that they surprise us, because I think if they brought out another new Shovel Knight property... It would be cool, but it wouldn't be surprising. Yeah. Like, at this point, I'd be like, well, yeah, Yacht Club is kind of the Shovel Knight guys, and that's what they do. And then they publish other people's stuff.
Right.
The word ground wasn't in quotes in Shovel Knight, right?
No.
I don't think so, yeah. But, yeah, I agree. They don't want to pigeonhole themselves too much. I would be happy with another Shovel Knight game, but they're so talented over there. I want to see what else they can do, Steve. I hear you. Sorry, Derek, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, I just hope it's well paced, because if it is like a full-on hour, it's like, oh boy, this could be a little rough to watch.
Yeah. I hope they don't fall into the common trap of like just extended developer commentary about a game nobody's played.
Right.
I feel like that's a thing that a lot of these presentations do, where they're like, we built this immersive world, and you're like, I don't know that. I've never seen what you're talking about. No one's played it but you. I'm sure you think it's great. Please don't pull a Microsoft is what I'm saying. Please just show and don't tell, or show and tell a little bit.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, we will be reacting to it right here on GVG, so look forward to that. I don't know which of us exactly will be here yet, but we're certainly going to be doing a reaction stream. So look forward to that. I can say that I will be here for sure. That's a guarantee, but we just have to figure out everyone else's schedules and figure out who else will be here. But we're doing it. It'll be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it. We do have some more news, though, but before that, we have some more super chats to go through. Jaden Buck with $5. Thank you so much. And I love that you're still keeping this going. This is great. Crazy Question Fridays. Crazy question number 26. If you could make one thing edible that could end world hunger, what would it be? Jeez, man.
Wow, nothing edible.
Something that
dirt.
So I guess you have to make something that exists that isn't already edible.
Exists in great quantities, but make it actually edible. Which the easiest one would be dirt.
Dirt, air, something that everybody has. That it would definitely end world hunger, because everybody can go in their front yard or backyard and just shovel up some dirt.
I mean, the question is, does it actually taste good, or does it just still taste like dirt?
Yeah.
Well, let's hope.
Right. Let's hope it tastes good. Maybe like bubble wrap, that would be incredibly satisfying.
Bubble wrap.
I'm going to have fun with it and say clouds. Like you could harvest clouds and eat them.
I like it.
I feel like they taste good.
Yeah. Good question, Jaden. Thank you very much. That one made us really think. Next is $2 more from RecBCQ. Thank you very much, my friend. Saying, played Legends Arceus a few hours. for a few hours, and it's great. Well, that's what we keep hearing, and we've got a few more people saying the same thing in other super chats coming up. Master of Hamsters with $5. Thank you. Saying, I managed to get my hands on a Switch OLED. So, of course, the way I'm celebrating is by giving out more of my money. Love you guys. Well, that's awesome. Congrats on getting your hands on a Switch OLED, man. That's awesome. And thank you for your donations and for all of your support over the months, man. We love seeing you in chat. Thank you very much. And enjoy your Switch OLED and hopefully maybe a copy of Pokemon Legends Arceus on it. So, but yeah, whatever you play on it, enjoy, man. Jason Uloa with $5 saying, I just wanted to give you $5. Well, Jason, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I imagine that's because I said if you want to give us $5 just to talk to us, I appreciate it. And I truly do.
Thank you. That'll buy me another. I finished my coffee for the day already, so I need another one.
Don't lie, that's not $5.
No,
that's like an $8 coffee.
It was $3.95. It was $3.95.
If you want to buy coffee,
good old free water. How refreshing.
Yeah. Okay, and then one more for now, and then we'll go ahead and move on to our next news story. $5 from our very good friend Becca's Live. Thank you so much, Becca. Saying, seriously, you will love Pokemon Legends Ash. It is absolutely amazing, and I can't wait. I can't wait to try it. I really want to hopefully try it this weekend. I know I'm not going to get I'm not going to fill the Pokedex. I know I don't have the time for that.
No, never.
Oh, no.
For those of you just joining us, we're giving away 2 copies of Pokemon Legends Arceus, thanks to our wonderful patrons, one during this show and one during the post show. If you want to join and potentially win a copy of Pokemon Legends, patreon.com/gbgaming, you could make it to the post show tonight.
Yeah, just $5 gets you into that live audience tier. And just as a reminder, since we just had a super chat about one of our community members getting a Switch OLED model, we're giving one of those away too when we hit 75,000 subs right here on the YouTube channel. So all you got to do is subscribe. You might win a Switch OLED. Not a bad deal. But we still have more news to talk about. And this next one was funny. We talked about Mortal Kombat, the movie, getting a sequel on Wednesday's show. But we're now talking about a leak of Mortal Kombat 12, potentially. So let's get that up on screen. So a NetherRealm producer appears to have leaked Mortal Kombat 12 by accident, but it might have been deliberate. That basically a NetherRealm producer tweeted out this photo that has a bunch of Mortal Kombat-esque, Mortal Kombat-related stuff on it. But eagle-eyed viewers very quickly noticed it in the top right-hand image or corner of this picture that they tweeted, which was later deleted. I think they deleted it after just a few minutes, by the way. You can see a file name that says MK12_master. And there's a little clip of an email saying something like, our fans are really excited, take extra care with this material. But this feels to me like a planned leak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think this was completely on purpose. And is anyone really surprised that Mortal Kombat 12 is in development? I wouldn't be.
I mean, the thing they also have there is they have Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2, exactly. Making, 12. So subtle.
Yeah.
Subtle.
And it's clearly intentional.
Yeah. I do love that old Mortal Kombat arcade advertisement. I had completely forgotten about it, where it's like, so real it hurts, and the actors for Raiden and Kano are grabbing these children, which would not fly at all today.
The other thing is these children should really not be playing Mortal Kombat.
They really shouldn't. But you've got these 2 grown men grabbing these children by the collars of their shirt, and I'm like, the 90s were a wild time, man. The 90s were a lot different than the world we're living in now, and I can't believe they got away with this ad in hindsight. It's just wild. But they also have an image of Wonder Woman here, which is I love her design in this, by the way. She looks very cool.
That's from Injustice, one of the more recent Injustice games.
Yeah.
Same with Brainiac.
Okay. Well, Mortal Kombat does have a history of getting pretty wild guest characters, so I wouldn't mind seeing Wonder Woman in a Mortal Kombat 12. I don't know if they'll do it, but it would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, Injustice is made by the same folks that make Mortal Kombat. The only thing that I see as a potential barrier to that is if you remember Mortal Kombat versus DC back in the 5th generation, they notoriously did not allow fatalities because they didn't want to show DC superheroes killing anyone, nor did they want to anybody to be able to kill DC superheroes.
Yeah, but villain seems to be all right because we got Joker as DLC, and you can maim him. But
they eased up on the Joker. In fact, one of the fun stories from Mortal Kombat versus DC is that the Joker's fatality was notoriously completely reused wholesale. So the Joker has a finishing move in MK versus DC where he like dances around, points a gun at you, and he pulls the trigger, and just a flag comes out that says bang. Then he drops it, pulls another gun, and off screen you see him shoot it, and you don't see what happens. And then in Mortal Kombat 10, Shang Tsung has a fatality where he turns into a clown and does the same thing, but it shows everything.
I'll be honest, I'm still hoping that eventually Ed Boon gets to be able to just grab all the horror movie characters and throw them in a blender, because we've gotten Jason, we've gotten Freddy, we've gotten, gotta forget how many, get them in the same game together and have it like these slasher villains fighting it out. That'd be awesome.
I think he had Mike Myers at one point.
They might
have in Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah, I think so.
Freddy Krueger, Jason, Mike Myers, Xenomorph from Alien, and then like other movie characters like Terminator and Rambo.
Right.
And RoboCop, which is my favorite.
That is good.
That was so random, RoboCop.
RoboCop puts a bullet through your crotch in a fatality.
I mean,
I did not know that.
That tracks. That's kind of what he does.
It does. Yes.
I haven't done that.
It does. So you've never, I assume then, Ash, that you've never seen the original RoboCop.
I've seen parts of it. I never watched it all the way through, but I have seen parts of it, and I had the NES game that was just absolutely stupid hard. It was so hard.
Yeah.
So in the original movie, there's a sexual assault scene, and RoboCop's response to that is to make the perpetrator incapable of future assault with a bullet.
You know what? Works for me.
I'll do it.
It does. And I just remember when they announced RoboCop, I'm like, if he doesn't shoot someone right in the junk, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. That's really, what a cool reference to the movie. I have to go check out these fatalities now. It reminds me that I never actually checked out the fatalities of all the DLC characters that came out. So
they're excellent.
Yeah, most of them are really good.
Kombat 11 goes really stupid with it. They go so ridiculously over the edge with all the gore, but like in a funny way. It's just so stupid.
It wasn't Mike Myers. It was Leatherface.
Leatherface. Thank you. I knew there was one more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have seen a couple of takes, some disappointed takes here and there on the internet, expressing a little disappointment that maybe they're not working on Injustice 3 instead. And how do you guys feel about that? I kind of thought they might be working on Injustice 3 personally. Maybe they're not, or maybe it's further off than we thought. But would you rather them be working on Injustice 3 first, or are you ready for another Mortal Kombat game?
I thoroughly enjoy Mortal Kombat games.
Much more.
It's the same. I like Mortal Kombat games, I think, in a similar way to you liking The Room. Like, they're so over the top and ridiculous. They end up funny. Yeah. And
but they're actually good games, though, too.
They are good. They're competent fighting games with pretty good stories if you like campy, cheesy stuff.
Yeah. I love how heavily and seriously they lean into Mortal Kombat story. They take it seriously, and it's so dumb, and I love it. I love it for that.
Yeah.
Great.
So, I mean, Injustice is cool, and I'm wearing a DC t-shirt right now, actually.
Nice.
But I've never, I've never really cared that much for it because I think it takes only the less interesting parts of Mortal Kombat and puts them, puts characters to them that I don't find as like it's Mortal Kombat without the sense of humor, really. And I think that's where it kind of falls down for me. I mean, it still does some of the funny Mortal Kombat things that I can't believe they still do, like in 2022. Like when you knock out a character with like a light attack and the character's body just goes like stiff as a board and leans back and just fall down.
I enjoyed the Green Lantern's line. It's like, well, got to kick my own ass from the first Injustice. So
that's very great.
One thing I wish they could do, and I mean, I know they won't because there's probably not enough money in it for them. It's too niche at this point, I guess. But they did such an amazingly perfect job representing the Ninja Turtles in Injustice 2. In that DLC, the best the Turtles have been represented in any fighting game ever. They literally were perfect in my opinion, and I just love to see them take on a Ninja Turtles, like a fighting game in the Ninja Turtles universe, or an action game.
Well,
or
a super chat we got from Tarvold's Quest, $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. Says Shredder and Nicktoons. Nah, Shredder and Mortal Kombat 12. Let's go.
Hell yeah!
Now we're talking.
Hell yeah, we are. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Tarvold, because I was going to mention this at the top of the show's kind of joke. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl did tease their next big update/info dump for February 3rd. And, I'm like the only one here that's kind of excited, I know, but they did share that with a screenshot of Leonardo, Michelangelo, April, and then add in a fourth character. Shredder.
That's Shredder
exactly who's going to
totally
be.
Shredder. Yeah.
I'm going to laugh if it's just Krang without his suit. Like, it's just Krang
without his suit. Oh, God. It's totally Shredder. But, yeah, we'll see what happens on February 3rd with whatever they're adding to the game. But yeah, so Mortal Kombat 12, it's almost certainly happening. And this probably was a controlled leak just to play with Mortal Kombat fans. And I was actually reading more about this. Even the email that you can see a clip of, a little clip of in the screenshot says, our fans eagerly scrape the internet for any trace. Take extra care with this material. They're totally playing with the fan base.
Oh yeah, they totally.
Oh yeah. I mean, Microsoft does similar things in a much more obvious and ham-fisted way. Like, they make up all these fake emails and they just post them to social media. Like, our fans would want to know about Redacted. We'll be announcing it on this day. I'm like, yeah, we understand. You're being a little bit more kind, or a little bit more Kai, a little bit more coy, NetherRealm, but not quite Kai enough.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we do have some more news, but also some more super chats. So first off is Lizard81288 with $5. Thank you very much, saying, for Pokemon Legends, I noticed when you first get into the open field that shadows were purple, glossy, and clipping through the ground. Well, that's a bit of a shame.
Oh, you didn't notice that? I didn't see that.
I have not heard about that.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a shame. Well, I'm sorry to hear that has happened. Hopefully the rest of the game's presentation has been to your liking after that. But yeah, that is a bit of a shame to get off on that foot. Thank you for that, though. Next is Homecoming Hero with $5, saying, thanks for making this community to help me gain my confidence back. I was Late Night Sprites, but this is my real name. Thanks for the love, for being awesome. Well, Late Night Sprites, that's awesome, man. Thank you for letting us know that. We're so glad to hear that we helped in any small way to help.
Quite amazing.
Yeah, that's what we're all about here at GVG. All the good vibes, just love and respect, all that good stuff. And I'm so happy to hear that we've been able to help you in some small way. So thank you for letting us know, and congratulations. That's really cool. Sonic and Mega Man 531 is back with another matchup, $2. Thank you very much, saying Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog versus Coco from Crash Bandicoot.
Tails.
It's Tails. Yeah. I don't know what Coco can do versus what she can't, but
Coco is capable, but Tails just has way more.
And Tails
has robots and a plane.
Yeah.
He's like the CIA of foxes.
The CIA of foxes. And I admit I'm fully biased here, too. Tails is one of my favorite characters ever. He might even be my favorite character from the Sonic universe. So I got to go with Tails.
I was about to say, without that qualifier, you'd be in deep shit.
Next is BlazeStar25 with $10. Thank you very much, saying, finally beat Shin Megami Tensei 5 on hard yesterday. It was challenging but super satisfying to overcome, and it's now my second favorite Switch game behind Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now to dive into Legends Arceus. Dude, congratulations. I know SMT games are just hard by definition, so for you to beat it on the hardest difficulty.
BlazeStar, if you were able to do that, just go take your state bar. You'll be good. You can clearly do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. Congratulations to you. That's awesome. All right. We already read out Tarvold's Quest super chat earlier. So next is Klaxon with $9.99, saying, bad news. Since the last time I was at TNT, our house has had a mouse problem. Good news, we got a cat. He's really sweet. Also, belated welcome back, Steve. I've been busy, but wanted to say that. Well, Klaxon, thank you very much. Sorry to hear about your mouse problem. Hopefully your cat's helping with that. And yes, from all of us here at GVG, again, welcome back, Steve. We missed you, man.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad to be back, even though this one's a little weirder than normal.
I mean,
hey, weird's good. We embrace the weird here at GVG.
It's weird, but it's also normal for us, so it's like, whatever.
Nice. Exactly. We love weird here. The weirder, the better. Okay, that's it for super chats for now. We'll get to any more that come in after the next news story. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to our third news story, which is really just a matter of digging yourself ever deeper into the NFT hole. Let's get that up on screen. So the best way, apparently Ubisoft think, the best way to convince players they want something is by telling them they don't get it and they're too dumb to understand what they're actually talking about. But don't worry, they'll get it eventually. So basically what I mean here is that a Ubisoft executive has said the company does plan to move forward with their NFT Quartz program, and just saying players just don't get it yet. That's an actual quote. Don't get it. So great way to not only embrace something really shitty.
Just don't understand me, Mom.
While doing it, yeah, they just don't get it yet. And it's there. This is Ubisoft's Strategic Innovations Lab VP Nicholas Poard, and he just turns on the kind of smugness here, saying, "Quartz is really just a first step that should lead to something bigger, something that will be more easily understood by our players. We know it's not an easy concept to grasp." Guys, it's Ubisoft's world. We're just living in it. Thankfully, we have Papa Ubisoft to teach us about how great NFTs really are. Right?
I'm just waiting for them to like take this to the logical conclusion where they're just fully honest about who they are with us. I want Eve. What's his last name? Chemo. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just want him to walk up and be like, "We tried to alienate our fans with the sex stuff, but that didn't work. So now we're doing NFTs because we want you to really hate us a lot." Also, Assassin's Creed is coming out every 6 months.
Yeah.
It's so if nobody's watched it yet, I would highly recommend it. There is a video put out by Folding Ideas on YouTube going over the history of both Bitcoin and NFTs, kind of just like diving into the culture, what the people who do this is kind of like, and really going over it all. It's 2 hours long. It's long, but it's exhaustive and basically ties into how this whole thing started just because of the 2008 financial crash. It is extremely informative. I really recommend watching it because this attitude right here is straight up everybody that's in the NFTs. It's how they react, because it can't be that this is wrong and they hate it for some reason, because this is the future. This is where it's going to go. He literally believes we don't understand, because he's been sold the idea that this is the future. This is what's happening next. And all it is just easily scammed ideas that nobody can really keep up with, and it just becomes a fool's scam, basically, where you get in there, you realize you've been scammed. The only way to make money is to find more fools. Eventually, somebody's going to get stuck holding the bag.
Right. And these quotes just continue to get more and more just, what's the word, smug, I guess, but like, this is wild that he felt so empowered to say things like this. Like, I think gamers don't get what a digital secondary market can bring to them. For now, because of the current situation and context of NFTs, gamers really believe it's first destroying the planet, and second, just a tool for speculation. But what we at Ubisoft are seeing first is the end game. The end game is about giving players the opportunity to resell their items once they're finished with them, or they're finished playing the game itself. So really, it's for them. It's really beneficial, but they don't get it for now.
Yeah, just like I said, it is straight up that personality type. I can't recommend that video enough.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great video. I'd like to, when I have a couple hours and the wherewithal to have to hear about NFTs for 2 hours straight, I'll make sure to check that out. I'm so tired of hearing about them. I actually had someone reach out to me and our good friend John Cartwright a couple of days ago, asking us to come onto their show to talk about NFTs, like they're like in a positive light, and they were willing to pay us to be on the show just to hear why NFTs are so great. And I respectfully declined. I'm like, honestly, and I could use the money, but honestly, no, I have zero interest in even broaching this subject with you. And it was a respectful interaction, but
I love you, but you were too nice.
No. Like, I would have, Steve. That was the right decision. All he would do is legitimize them. Ash might be getting $500, but he would lose at the end.
You say that, but like I would have just pulled a Stranger of Paradise on him, listened, sat quietly through the whole thing, and then just ended with bullshit, and then just walked off.
Nice.
Play me out. Put Trapped on. I'm leaving.
Well, it's much the same as what my dad recently went through, where he almost was pulled into an interview about NFTs, and I don't even know if they were going to pay him to do it, but just him saying that he was open to going on it caused so much backlash amongst his audience, and I already know I don't like NFTs. I want nothing to do with them, and I wasn't going to risk my the perception that our audience has of me and us.
Not to demean us in any way, though I'm actively working to do that by streaming from where I am. I mean, we're not famous enough to legitimize something like an NFT.
No.
I stream in a bathtub. Like, I don't understand. I mean, not to belittle you in any way, Ash, but like...
I don't know. I know what you mean.
I mean...
Could you imagine
if you need our help to make this thing work, maybe it's not a viable thing in the first place.
Right. Well, I think
we're like 3 notches above guy you met at the supermarket. Like, we're not that high up the rung of celebrity.
Oh, no, for sure. And I think the reason they contacted us was because a fan of either ours or mine on Twitter specifically tagged me and John saying like, hey, these are 2 of my favorite gaming content creators. Talk to these guys. And and it was all very respectful. There was no problem with that fan or with the people who asked to interview. Sure. So it was very respectful, all good. But I just respectfully declined, and I just didn't want to. Yeah, we're not the biggest channel out there, far from it, but I still, perception matters, and I just didn't want to get into it.
Absolutely. For a moment, I just want to also touch on the fact that Twitter recently started allowing you to have an NFT profile pic, which I'm actually grateful for.
Yeah.
Because it makes you super easy to unfollow. Yeah. Like, it's really easy now. Like, I just scroll through my list, I'm like, oh, there's a rupee-looking dude, and I just unfriend him real quick. Like, usually I have to, like, put out a tweet, and I'm like, hey, if you know anyone that's, like, a creep that's in my follow list, can you help me? And now they just tag them with a different profile picture shape. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, I love it.
Could you imagine, though, just taking the interview and then just treating it like a Borat interview and just, like, completely doing the opposite? Or, like, two ferns or something?
This is why I know that Ash is a better person.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm like.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I actually did think about it, but that's not me. And I as much as I would love to take the money of an NFT bro, that's just not who I am. And I didn't want the perception issues that would come from even appearing to be open to the idea,
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's ultimately what happened. But it was, like I said, a completely respectful exchange. They didn't hound me. They didn't talk shit to me after I said no. So, at least it was perfectly amicable of them in that way.
Could have taken the $500 and bought like Skittles NFTs or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think you could afford a Skittle with $500 if it's an NFT.
Oh, wow. Sonicu in the live audience patron chat saying Ash is a man of pure integrity and sex appeal, especially sex appeal. Whoa, thank you very much, Sonicu.
Okay, then.
I don't necessarily co-sign on that, but I really appreciate the compliment. That came out of nowhere. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
We have one more super chat before we move on to the next story from Jared Helder, $2 Canadian. Thank you so much, saying, what are your favorite stealth games? Just off the top of my head, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, and Deus Ex Human Revolution are 2 of my favorites. But what about you guys?
Would have to be. Can you consider Assassin's Creed a stealth? I mean, kind of.
Depends on which one.
Kinda,
but for the most part. I mean, you're supposed to play him stealthily, but most people don't.
Either that or maybe Hitman. I enjoy Hitman.
Yeah, Hitman. That's a good one.
Hitman's good. I would probably go with... I'm going to pick a deep cut. I'm going to go with Tenchu. I really liked that.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Very good one.
I don't play a lot of stealth games outside of Metal Gear Solid, so I just have to agree with Ash with MGS3.
See, I like MGS4 more than 3.
Really?
Just for the microwave hallway.
I don't hear that.
Just for the microwave hallway.
That's such a good scene.
Yes.
Such a good scene. And I remember when I first beat MGS4, it was like probably 1 in the morning, and I was like,
everyone did that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and finish it and just go to bed. And then like 3 hours later, it's finally done.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
That's the true feeling, you know. That's how it's.
Yeah,
That's legit to the
I love this.
experience.
I love this from Dark Bagel on our patron chat. Twitter NFT PFPs exist. Banjo Kazooie health because they look the same. They're the whole
Oh right.
I love that. All right. Well, that's it for super chats for now. Thank you. That was a great question. Thank you for that, Jared. All right. Well, we're going from something we hate, which is NFTs, to something we love, which is Sonic. Hell yeah. Let's get that story up on screen. So, Sonic Team's Takashi Iizuka recently did a new interview with Games Radar about Sonic Frontiers, and most of it is just kind of generally hyping the game up and talking about what they're excited to do with Frontiers. Kind of in a general sense, you know, he says they're going to bring Sonic to the next level with new combat styles and more. But it just goes a little bit more into what we can maybe expect from Frontiers, kind of going specifically into the open world nature of it. How open world is it actually? And he's still not quite ready to divulge exactly what we're looking at in terms of an open world. Calling it, I think, an open zone experience right now, whatever that means.
This is the same company who called an open world game free. So,
right.
Full reactive eyes entertainment.
Right. Derek, I know you read through this interview as well right before we started. Were there any particular points that stood out to you that you wanted to highlight?
Nothing really stood out to me too much. Like they're saying about how they're trying to get to the little details. They did take some lessons from Sonic Forces. They have it's nothing too crazy as far as all what it comes down to.
He says
I'm just trying to find like any like key thing here, but the speculation whether it's true open world or more like Pokemon Legends or Monster Hunter where it's sort of sectioned off, that seems to be the big question that's not really answered. It's a lot of PR speak, but there's excitement behind it, which is nice.
He does say that it's going to be set in, and I quote, the franchise's first ever open zone inspired experience, explaining that it will offer open zone freedom. And that's as far as he's willing to go right now on that. So, you know, I think it's safe to say that we're not going to be looking at something Breath of the Wild-esque, like truly massively open world, but it doesn't need to be. There's so many open world games out there anyway. I'm fine with Sonic's own take on a more open area. I just want to be able to play as Sonic in wide open areas and actually use that speed. Like, I love the daytime stages in Sonic Unleashed. I love the modern Sonic stages in Sonic Generations. And I want more of that because the sense of speed you get playing as Sonic from that perspective is just breathtaking. I love it. So imagine if you take that and apply it to this massive area that he has all this, room to run around in and kind of bring his speed to bear. Personally, I think that sounds really exciting as long as it feels good to play, which is, Sonic Team, we don't really know yet. We sometimes we
I know.
Sometimes we don't. Well,
as the resident GBG ancient, I can tell you that Sonic Team and 3D don't mix very well, very often.
But sometimes they do, though. Sonic Generations, for example. So it's like hard to say.
You mean when they brought Fat Sonic back? That's what we're talking about, right?
Oh yeah. I love the 2D stages in that game too. That is fair.
Yeah, I just sort of scanned for more quotes to see what there was actually said, and the only thing that really stands out to me is they're paying close attention to getting his speed and characteristics remaining consistent. They're introducing new combat styles to bring the dexterity to the battlefield and exploration options. So maybe the
what does a new combat style for Sonic look like?
Well, we know that from the 4chan leak that ended
up being
corroborated. Doesn't he have that? What we think he has a thing where he can like run rings around enemies, and anyone within the ring will get destroyed, like something like that, maybe.
See, that I'm okay with,
as
long as it uses his core abilities. But I don't want him like punching and kicking, or like Nick suggested, shooting people.
Oh God, no! That's Shadow's purview. I think we're good on that. Juan Delgado makes a good point in our patron chat, saying Iizuka and his team are pretty excited about this game. They weren't this excited when Forces was coming out, and I kind of wanted to point that out because, yes, obviously, Sonic Team are going to be excited about their own game. They're not going to not be excited. But I do feel as though they're pushing this one a bit harder. They're hyping this one up a bit more than they have prior games. And
there might be some actual confidence behind all this.
Yeah, it just feels like there's a bit more confidence behind this. That may not mean anything. This is still Sonic Team. We don't know yet. But it feels like they're more confident in this game than they have been in prior releases. And that gives me hope that Sonic Frontiers is going to deliver in the way we all clearly want it to. Will it? We don't know. But I'm excited. What I do know for sure is I'm not going to play this game on Switch. I want to play this at...
This is a PS5 game.
Yeah, this is a PS5 Series X game through and through for me. No way would I play this on Switch unless I absolutely had to. And maybe even then I'd just wait. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we can pull out of this interview. But it's just some extra context for what we're looking forward to. And we are reminded at the end of this article from Games Radar that Ian Flynn is writing the story for this game, which is absolutely the best thing that could have happened to this game.
Yeah.
From a narrative standpoint. Like, no matter how the game itself turns out, it's guaranteed to have a good story because Ian Flynn's behind it, I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm not super familiar with the comics, so I'm going to trust you guys in saying that this is probably going to be a good story.
He kind of is like a master at pulling all the little details out and make them pop and work. He worked on both Mega Man and Sonic. Still works on Sonic. Just really good at pulling in those game details and making them work in a story form.
Nice.
So yeah, he's really he did both the Sonic and Mega Man comics, and he killed it on both. He's so good. So I'm really looking forward to this, at least from a character and story standpoint. We'll just have to see how the game turns out from a gameplay standpoint. Hopefully not too long from now. I feel like we got to get something in a few months in terms of some sort of gameplay trailer because it's supposed to come out later this November, I think. So it's got to be soon, but we'll find out. Let's see. We do have a few more super chats before we move on to our final story of the day. First is Claxon with $4.99. Thank you. Saying, don't you know, it's a digital asset, not an NFT. Joking, of course. An NFT by any other name's just as scummy. Yeah, completely agreed. As we like to say here on at GVG, NFT stands for no fucking thanks. So totally hear you, Claxon. Thank you. Spider-Manny, I love that name. Spider-Manny with $9.99. Thank you so much. Saying we need actual momentum in a 3D game that feels like it does on the 2D. I'm tired of either stiff controls or way too loose controls. Totally agree. That is probably other than the design of the open world areas, whatever that all is. I think the most important thing they can get right with Sonic Frontiers is the feel of running around as Sonic in all these big, beautiful open areas. So I agree with you. Hopefully they nail it. Let's cross our fingers. Next, and then for now, this is it for now. $5 from Pirate Jake. Thank you very much. Saying hello. I was able to get Pokemon Legends today. So excited. Just had a successful first week back in college as well. So things are looking good. Well,
yeah, good weekend.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Glad to hear that. Enjoy your weekend with Pokemon Legends. I sure am looking forward to playing it. And as I've been saying earlier on the show, and as a reminder, we are giving away 2 codes for Pokemon Legends Arceus today. We're giving away the first one at the end of this very show, and we're giving away the second one in our patron-exclusive post show that's immediately following this show. So it's still not too late for you to join or head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/GVGaming and join our live audience tier so you can join the post show and maybe get a crack at another Pokemon Legends code. We'll see what happens. But thank you, Pirate Jake. Really appreciate that. And with that said, we do have one more news story today. This also involves Sega, but it's decidedly sad. It's not exciting like a Sonic Frontiers interview. This is just kind of a downer. So let's go ahead and get that up on screen. So after 50 years, it's the end of an era. After 50 years, Sega are finally completely 100% bowing out of the arcade center business in Japan. And I say it's the end of an era because it is. I've been to Club Sega arcades. They are amazing. I've been to GameWorks arcades here in the States that are owned by Sega. They are awesome. And but that's it. In a statement issued this morning, this comes from Destructoid, by the way, Sega Sammy announced their intention to sell their remaining 14.9% of shares that they held within their arcade division to Genda Inc., which is the same holding corporation that purchased the majority of Sega's arcade shares back in 2020. So we kind of have already been hearing about Sega leaving the arcade business gradually, but this makes it final, and they have no stake in arcades anymore in Japan. And I'm gonna miss Club Sega when I go back to Japan someday, man. I miss it. I love those Sega arcades. Have either of you or all of you been lucky enough to be able to try one of those out before
Nope.
this unfortunate news?
It's a sad day for yours truly. I've never been to Japan. Club Sega will live on for me through the Yakuza.
Yeah, exactly. You got to relive it through Yakuza now. So,
right.
It's rough. It's unfortunate, just because it felt like that one really great thing, and obviously arcades have been hit hard. That's they said initially they were scaling back just because of the pandemic, and I mean, how many people are going to arcades now? So it's just unfortunate.
It is specified here later in the article that Sega are still expected to continue making units of their current arcade games for distribution worldwide and other arcades. It's just they're no longer going to be an actual arcade center owner. And I guess their current centers that are still in operation are going to be rebranded as Gigo Entertainment, and those would be the locations in Ikebukuro, Akihabara, and Shinjuku.
So, as someone in the patron chat is like, it's not like the arcades themselves are going away, just Sega's involvement in them, which you can kind of take a relief.
Yeah, I mean, but I can say that as someone who's been lucky enough to be able to go to them, the Sega vibe there at those arcade centers is very strong, and it's a very uniquely Sega-ish vibe. And without that, there's still arcade centers, and I want to go, sure, but you lose that Sega vibe, and it's just not quite as outwardly appealing to me. But that also may not matter to someone who didn't grow up on video games like we all did. Like, if you don't care about Sega, this isn't going to matter to you.
Sega should matter to everyone.
Oh yeah, for sure. As someone who grew up in a time where people didn't get their consoles together and bring their friends together to play video games, if you wanted to play games with your friends, you went to the arcade. And so I mean, and Sega is probably the biggest in the world and has been for decades. So it's definitely sad.
And it's just like, oh, go ahead, Derek.
I wish they'd stuck around a bit more, because when I was in Japan, I didn't go to this because I didn't really think about it, and I never got a true arcade experience. The closest I would get is that there were 2 arcade cabinets in a small pizza place in a mall.
Oh, okay.
That's the best I ever got as a kid.
Man, I have so many wonderful memories of playing, Sega games in arcades growing up. Like,
Chuck E. Cheese.
Getting in Chuck E. Cheese, right? But like actually getting into those Afterburner machines or the Daytona USA machines that are all linked up with big screens next to each other. That's just, that's something very uniquely special about Sega arcade experiences. And my local Tilt growing up had one of those Time Traveler games, which was like the hologram game that
Time Travel.
Yeah, it was so cheesy, but at the time it was the coolest thing, and you wanted to like move your hand through the image, like, whoa, how are they doing that? At the time, it was great.
I'm pretty sure that was a Sega game.
Time Crisis,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a Sega game.
Was it? I didn't realize Time Crisis was.
No, Time Traveler.
Oh, Ash said Time Crisis, so I thought he got it wrong.
Yeah, Nick
did I say Time Crisis?
Oh yeah, I was just talking about.
My bad. I didn't realize I said no. That's Bandai Namco.
Yeah, I thought so.
Time Traveler is Sega. My bad. I guess I had a brain fart. But yeah, Time Traveler was the hologram game with the really bad acting, and it used like laser projection to.
I didn't realize that was Sega.
Yeah.
Yep. Sega logo right on the top of the machine. I remember thinking as I was a kid, I was like, why don't we have this at home? This sucks. I want this.
Right. Yeah, it was designed by Dragon's Laird's creator, but it was released by Sega. Or published by Sega. Yeah.
How do you feel about this polyglot robots hot take in the patron chat, Ash? I prefer Plaza Capcom arcades to Club Sega.
I mean,
you are a Capcom boy.
I am a Capcom boy. To me, when you're talking about arcades, my answer is yes. I think they're all awesome. I'm really, really, really torn up about the death of the arcade in the modern age. I mean, there are still arcades out there, of course, but it's not the same as it used to be. And I think there's something very special and uniquely singular about arcades. And, so whether it's Sega, Capcom, I don't care who owns it. I want to be there. It's like picking a favorite child for me. So, and Joshua Shoot makes a good point though in our YouTube chat, saying at least we have round one. And yeah, round one have done a good job keeping that kind of entertainment center arcade vibe alive, for sure. Much better than something like Dave and Buster's. So I am thankful for round one at least. That's a good point.
I don't know if there's any round ones near me.
I don't know. Yeah, there are two kind of within like a 30-minute drive of where I live, but I don't know how widespread they are.
We're living in the friggin' desert.
Yeah.
We don't have arcades at all. We barely have people.
Oh, I'd have to drive up to DC, and that is a drive.
Let's see. We got a couple more super chats here before we head into the end of the show and our first Pokemon Legends Arceus code giveaway. But first, let's see. We have $5 from 413 Dream. Thank you very much. Saying, I spent so much money to win just one Earthbound plush at a Sega arcade when I first went to Tokyo. I got a Master Belch. That's so cool. Yeah, I never saw Earthbound plushes in any Sega arcades. That's neat.
This arcade game will make you sick. Or stinks, nice. I should say. That's what it is.
This arcade game stinks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's so cool, 413 Dream. What a great thing to have. What a cool memory. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's great. Next is $5 from Pirate Jake. Thank you very much. Saying, also, I added Wii game number 211 to the collection today. COD World or Call of Duty World at War. Not a huge COD guy personally, but don't hate them either. Should be neat on Wii. You have 211 Wii games, my friend. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's a bigger takeaway for me, but can you imagine owning a Microsoft game for the Wii? That's wild.
That's
call it Microsoft. I guess it is Microsoft now. I'm slow on the uptake, Steve. Oh boy.
Yeah, no, that's why I figured where you were going with it. But it is weird to think now that these characters like Crash, who ended up being a PlayStation mascot, are now owned by Microsoft. It's really weird.
Man, they should absolutely once this devolves into the console war bullshit we know it's going to eventually. They should absolutely make a commercial of Crash, with a bullhorn standing outside of PlayStation headquarters teasing them.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. You're right.
Come on, Blue Boy, Triangle Man. Why don't you go inside?
Oh, I love it. That's such a good idea. A couple more super chats have come in. $5 from our good friend Titus Malvolio. Thank you so much, man. Saying Pokemon Legends is dope, but not as dope as Soapy Steve. Much love, guys.
Soapy Steve.
I can't argue.
Get that shit. Get that trendy NFT.
Yeah.
Oh
God, no.
I did make it a hashtag when I made the tweet for today's show. I did make Soapy Steve a hashtag, so maybe it'll catch on. You never know.
Soapy Steve, no nipples and no NFTs on GVG. Every time I'm in a bathtub, I make a new rule.
Nice. Also, Sonic and Mega Man 531 is back once more with $2 more. Thank you so much. Saying Akuma from Street Fighter versus Nightmare from Soul Calibur.
Akuma.
I gotta go with Akuma.
I gotta go with Nightmare.
Really? Okay.
Nightmare destroys the world in any of its endings. In Soul Calibur, it's Nightmare is a dude with a big sword with an eyeball, and then the apocalypse. I don't understand it, but it's what happens. So I assume.
Yeah, that's true. I guess
probably wreck Akuma.
I feel like it would be a pretty close match, regardless. I don't think either one super out.
Well, Akuma is when little kids play checkers. Akuma is so strong until he needs to be stronger, and then Capcom is just he could chop an island in half, and they're wait, he couldn't do that a minute ago. Oh yeah, he can also create hurricanes with his Tatsus. It actually happens. So it's canon now. We put it in an ending once. So you never know. I mean, if Capcom story writers are handling the fight, then Akuma wins every time because he magically gets stronger in the middle of the fight.
Right.
If it's Bandai Namco, then Nightmare takes it.
Fair enough. Good one. Thank you, Sonic and Mega Man 531. Really appreciate that. Crimson King 12,000 with an important point for you, Steve. I'm more of a Steamy Steve guy myself. Steamy Steve. Yeah.
Nice.
The one thing that I haven't mentioned, and I was hoping it would show up better on camera. This bathtub has RGB. We are bottom lit right now.
Oh wow!
I'll save it for the post show, but there's a window in the sub. If you want to see the window in this tub, which I don't know why you'd want to, but join our Patreon right now. And during the post show, I will show you what lurks underneath. No, that's not.
Did you say
that's just what lurks underneath?
Didn't you say right before the show that you were expecting a chicken delivery during TNT?
Yeah, I'm still waiting on it.
Oh man,
This significant other hasn't come through. Worst Postmates driver ever.
Well, maybe it'll come during the post show. But speaking of the post show, we have to get to that right after our show today, and we are at the end of the show, which means we are going to give away our very first of 2 Pokemon Legends Arceus codes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out very slowly and carefully the digits of the code. And for the last one, though, is going to be a gaming-related hint. And the letter, or I'll say it's a letter. It's going to be what related to the hint. So, good luck with that. I'll tell you right now, it's a hint that would make sense for me. Kind of if you know what I love, it's going to be something related to that. So, get ready.
Rush Coil rhythm game starts with an R.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go. So, our first Pokemon Legends Arceus code. Here we go. Get ready. E04G V2 Y1P YL3 CG5. And the last character is this hint. What letter does Mega Man's Japanese name start with? Once again, that is E04GV2 Y1P YL3 CG5, and the last letter is the first letter of Mega Man's Japanese name. And
didn't even remember that.
Yeah.
Huh?
All right, everybody's saying it's already been used, so somebody got it. I don't know.
Let us know if you got it in chat.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know who got it. Thank you to Skull Kid Tiger for donating that code for us to give away. We have one more to give away during the push show, though.
Yeah. So, clearly somebody got it so fast.
Damian Marquez got it.
Hey,
nice. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Damian.
congrats.
Yeah, enjoy the game.
Enjoy. That's
really
awesome,
good.
Man.
Be sure to tell us what you think of it.
Absolutely.
Steve, I love how you inadvertently gave it away before I
He foreshadowed.
I hint. Yeah, you foreshadowed shit.
I know that I knew the code, but I legitimately did not remember that the last letter was R.
Yeah.
When he said it, I started laughing so hard.
I know, right? You got to love it. But, congratulations again, Damien, and enjoy the game. And thank you again to Skull Kid Tiger for your incredible generosity in giving us that code to give away on today's show. And speaking of today's show, we're done. We're at the end. And this would normally be where I ask our guests where they can find, or where our audience can find them on the internet. But Nick, you're our guest today, man. You're the guest of honor. And is there anything you'd like to talk about or let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the show we've talked about Legends, and as somebody who hasn't really played a Pokemon game since probably Game Boy Advance, watching Steve play it, I was actually kind of interested in it. I mean,
nice.
As somebody who doesn't like to fill up the Pokedex, and because I'm not a completionist, I don't like to collect them all, but just watching the gameplay and the way that it looks, I mean, I'm interested. It's definitely on my radar now, which is something I would probably never would have thought at all. So to someone who's just a casual fan or someone who's never really played a Pokemon game, I would say that it's a really good sign that somebody who really doesn't ever play it is actually now quite interested in it. So, yeah, there you go.
Very cool. Well, and if you want to show, I've been lucky enough to be able to hang out with and meet Nick in person. Super amazing guy. Go show him some love on Twitter at Dreamcast Rocks, which is the best name because Dreamcast.
I mean, we talked about Sega, so I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So at Dreamcast Rocks is where you can find Nick on Twitter. Go show him some love, give him a follow. Really great guy, and I'm just glad to be talking to you again, man. I hope we can all hang out together again soon.
Absolutely.
We might need a bigger bathtub.
Yes.
That is true. All right. Well, everybody, thank you.
Real quick, I do have one piece of housekeeping. I am no longer forbidden from telling you all this. We will be reviewing Horizon Forbidden West here on the channel on Valentine's Day. Sony graciously provided us with a review code for the game. I didn't do the whole tweeting thing because we didn't get it at the same time as everyone else, but we do have it. Stay tuned. It'll be here on Singles Awareness Day.
Right, exactly. And actually, because my day job has been blowing up with onboarding stuff and crazy stuff, it's going to be you reviewing instead, right, Steve?
Yeah, I'm
you should
excited.
really get on beating the first game.
I am gonna beat the first game, and then play through all of this somehow before the 14th. So...
Yeah, I was meant to review Horizon, but unfortunately things have just been absolutely wild with my day job, and I'm just being kept so busy, and I'm being given more to do than I was initially expected. So I just didn't want to risk taking that on as well. So Steve very graciously...
and I kind of have Pokemon to review. Otherwise, I'd take it. But yeah.
Exactly. So it hurt because I really wanted to review it, but it's most important that the person who has the most time to do it properly. And so that probably means that I'll be reviewing Chocobo GP is probably like my next upcoming review. That's probably what I'll be doing.
Stranger of Paradise, baby.
Stranger of Paradise. Yeah. But so thank you to Sony for that code, and I'm really hope you you enjoy it, Steve, because I wish I could.
I'm gonna jump in right as soon as the show's over.
Yeah,
nice.
Hell yeah, man, hell yeah. All right. Well, with all that said, thank you all so much for hanging out with us today for Soapy Steve Friday. We had a lot of fun. We love doing this show with you. Thank you so much. But as always, we do have to give a special thank you to all of our producers our patrons at the producer tier and above for helping to make this show happen and helping to make everything we do happen, because without you, it would not be happening. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And as always, we do have to give an extra special thank you to all of our patrons at the executive producer tier and above. And those fine, wonderful, amazing, incredible folks include Brandon Bovia, Rob Arman X, Fangs, Dan and Twistle, Z Patty, Hyrule Hermit, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman 23, Adam O'Sullivan, Octopuppet, Richard Herrera, Michael Phone, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Birche 373, Critter XD, Kitty Kong Facts, Angel Martinez, Vedran Hotik, Joshua Hunter, Benny Yao, Sapphire, Azran 127, Black King, Pagrima, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Showmix, Andrew Medeiros, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Killamox, Eddie B, Kai Ed, Kit Fisto, Kenneth Lee Stingle, Jessica Toad, Zenith, Sci-Fi Lullabies, Michael McCaw, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straight Lace, Justin Matthews, Hoobie, Too Much Spaghetti, Mega Conrad, Ascaron 809, Ryaner, Captain Finlandia, 60 Minutes and 60 Seconds, Nathan Steele, Spicy Pand Otter, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravelox, Synchro Lord, Rosa Pardo Bowling.
Hi, Mom. I'm sorry about this, Mom.
Kane Woolley, Skull Kid Tiger, Darksteel 01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Phantom Project, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jurassic, Dinner Sonic, Darik, Jeff Ed, Blaystar 25, Stag Nasty, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Screamo Shaman, Mason Riley, Heel, Santi the Person, Brendan Hesse, Hustlebun, Noah Fitterer, Calvin Atkinson, Hinaru 77, Brooke Obscura, Anthony Wilson Jr., and last but certainly not least, Eddie Zacianland. Thank you all so much for your incredible support of our channel. And as I said before, thank you to every single one of you out there who wants us to succeed, supports us every day, offers us constructive criticism on our Discord, on Twitter, on our subreddit. You all are great. We love you and we value you, and we got some cool stuff coming. So thank you very much. If you want to learn more about how you can get on this list of EPs, our amazing EPs, head on over to patreon.com/gbgaming, where you can join us for at least for as little as $1 a month, which gets you into our amazing Discord community, the best damn community on the internet. But that's it from us. We're about to go to our post show, where we're gonna give out another Pokemon Legends Arceus code in just a minute. So look forward to that for those of you on our live audience tier, and we'll see you there. For everyone else, we'll see you next week. Good night and good vibes.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.